Hey, it's Greg Torres. I'm out here again in the woods. Want to show you another fantastic plant that you find in eastern deciduous forest. So this plant cohabitates with a number of other beautiful specimens of floral interest. We've got some grape fern back here. We've got ash trees. We've got some young maples here. Very typical of deciduous forests in eastern North America. Canada waterleaf. Also got Virginia creeper, moonseed, but the plant I want to show off is this beautiful one right here. This plant is Acteae pachypoda, also known as White Baneberry, also known as doll's eyes. The berries are very conspicuous, being white with this black dot at the base of them. The black dot is left over from the stigma of the flowers from earlier in the springtime. So it's August now, late August, and these berries are present right now. As you can see, the pink pedicels on the plant are very thick, and it's thought that that's where it gets its scientific epithet from, pachypoda. Pachy meaning thick, poda meaning foot. And White Baneberry is very toxic. It's in the Ranunculaceae family, the buttercups. And like a lot of buttercups, it has cardiac glycosides, which, if ingested, will kind of slow down your heart until it stops. These berries are very toxic, and most mammals avoid this plant. However, the berries are consumed by a number of woodland birds. Catbirds, robins will eat these. But oftentimes they're left alone till later in the season in preference for some other berries that are present right now, like black cherry. This plant is about 2 feet tall, which is pretty normal for its size. It has compound leaves, as you can see here. The leaves are very serrated and sometimes borne in 2 pairs like this or 3. The stem is quite smooth. There's no hairs or anything on it. The root system, while you can't see it, is it's a big rhizome with a lot of fibrous roots underneath there. I remember this plant very clearly when I was young. I'd see this in the forests. And for some reason, this was a berry that I never ate. And in general, white berries are not berries that you should be consuming ever. Poison ivy, mistletoe, baneberry, they're all white berries and very toxic, or something you don't want to put inside your body. This plant requires undisturbed forests that haven't had the undergrowth developed through agriculture or grazing or anything like that. So it's kind of a rarer plant that you find in rich forests, undisturbed forests. And also it's been used recently as an ornamental in horticulture. But again, it's very toxic, so if you have small kids around, you probably don't want to add this plant to your gardens. Deer avoid this plant and other mammals avoid this plant for the same reason humans should, because of its toxicity. As I said, the flowers come out in the late spring. They're very small, kind of like poofy looking, white, with a number of small petals. But they don't provide any nectar, it's just pollen, and are usually pollinated by halictid bees, small native bees that you can find in the forests. So again, this is White Baneberry, aka doll's eyes, aka Acteae pachypoda.